All right, everybody. This is the most watched show at 11 o'clock on Monday morning on my Facebook. I guess it's the only show getting watched. It's one of these times here this morning where I don't know if we should be celebrating a man's life or being sad that we lost him, but Bobby Hull apparently has just died.
Yeah, I think a little bit of both.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he had a great life, great career, fun-loving guy. So I had two encounters. Well, first of all, I should back up. How are you doing? How's everything?
I'm good. Everything's good, man.
Yeah, good. How'd you do in the weekends? Like you climb any mountains, going to like a 10-hour walk or something?
No, we had
Walk to
I was
Florida?
on the ice. Yeah. Did a little hockey, did some boxing, coaching, and then this morning I went for, as you would say, a nice march. Yeah.
So okay, hold on. We got to back up too. What was with the skate dang? You're dodging the skate.
So one of the guys on the team, Brian Shaw, he's a goaltender.
Right.
He saw me doing the slip bag, I guess, and he said, "Hey, why don't you really want to show me something to do with a skate?" I said, "Challenge accepted."
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
It didn't hit you ever, did it?
No.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, I think I had those skates sharpened in 1983.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah. Definitely. All right. So we lost Bobby Hull, unfortunately. I guess just this morning it happened. So I had two very memorable moments in my life that included Bobby Hull. So when I must have been like 10 years old. Somehow my father got us into the pregame skate in the morning in Maple Leaf Gardens when Chicago was in town. And after they practiced, he came out, talked to me for must have been 10 minutes, signed my little hockey stick. I had lost it too. I don't know where I did with it, but he was fantastic. And then, so many years later, so in my second year going in, he came and tried out for the New York Rangers.
I remember that.
Yep. Yeah. Because Anders Hedberg and Ulf Nielsen, he played with in Winnipeg. So we skated here before we left. We had training camp over in Finland. And one day we went to this local establishment, and he liked his brown. He could drink some beer, but we must have sat there. There's about 10 of us sat there for about 10 hours, or excuse me, 3 hours, and he told old stories, like very secretive old stories about Gordie Howe and Phil Esposito and some stuff, and we were just dying. Stuff. Yeah. Oh, I know, it was unbelievable. And then he didn't make the team ultimately, but we went over to Finland and hung out with him over there. That was a blast. It was a great experience. Great guy, legendary player, and he loved life. I'll tell you, he went all out all the time. So it was good.
Well, I think he's responsible for really the WHA surviving or being to where they got to be. And he changed the game too. I mean, when they started, he and Stan Mikita with their sticks and
well, that famous picture where he's baling hay. He's got the fork bone with the bale hay.
Totally jacked
too. Yeah.
Now have you met his brother?
I have. Don't know him as well, but
he is funny.
He's great at speaking engagements and everything. So
hysterical.
When I first retired in San Jose's first year, they hired him to do the color commentating at first because of that. He couldn't get it done though. Like he just couldn't, I guess, get it all compacted in fewer words and tell what was happening. So I think it was mutual. He just said, this isn't working. So he left, I think after about 10 games, and I took over, did all the color for the Sharks. It was good.
Yeah. But I've seen some video of him at speaking again. He's a pretty funny guy.
Yeah. It's very funny. Yeah, definitely.
But Bobby changed the game. I think he's one of the guys. I mean, look, saved the WHA or really made it survivable. And, big clapper. I mean, Boom Boom Jeffrey on. But I mean, really everybody, I think, associates the slap shot with Bobby Hull for sure.
Totally. Yeah, you're right. There's those players like Bobby Orr, Bobby Hull,
exactly.
Wayne Gretzky,
Gordie,
Gordie, just like made a difference, like changed the game, the personalities too, right? Like he was such a personality. Whereas with Gordie Howe, he wasn't. He's a great guy, but there wasn't much of a personality there.
Right. The Golden Jet, Bobby Hull.
To get a name like that, that's cool.
I got the bronze. I got the bronze slug.
That's you.
Yeah.
With all due respect to Gordie, Hull never turned down, and that is true. Like I said, I was a random little kid after the game or after the pregame skate. And he stood there and talked to me for 10 minutes. I'll never forget it. And that's why, like, I make a point now when I go to events. Like last night, I was in Old Bridge, New Jersey, and you really realize how much the impact you can have on these young kids by talking to them. So let's talk to them all.
That's great stuff. It really is.
Good. Now I saw another video. You had is it the young guy out in California you had boxing with the red gloves? Was that your
Marshall? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Cool. Yeah.
I've only the backstory is that his mom worked with Beth, and then they moved to California.
Right.
And when they moved there, she took a job with Sony, so she moved out to LA with the family. When they did, it was when COVID hit, and Marshall was 6 years of age at the time. He's the middle child, so already he's got because he's a middle kid, but he equated the COVID lockdown with the move, right?
Right.
So he started acting out. And I said to Beth, he said, well, look, I don't know if it can work, but since we're doing everything at that particular time anyhow, FaceTime, let me try.
Right.
And now,
That's cool.
It's going on a couple of years. Yeah, I've only
Yeah.
physically, I've only met him twice.
Right. You can tell he's a really confident kid now too, right? Like he's feeling good about himself.
Well, there were somebody tried bullying him in school and he two-pieced him. And then he interdicted another bullying attempt on another child.
Oh.
And he either two-pieced or three-pieced that kid. And I
That's
told
cool.
him, I said, listen, you never use it, but if there's no adult around and you got to do your business, and shame on the other guy.
Yeah, it gives you confidence to know that you can do it, right? That's the thing.
And I think it's whether it's boxing or hockey or whatever it is. If a kid can master a skill set, it gives you some swag.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
absolutely.
it makes you less likely to ever even think about being a bully.
Right. That's what the old saying is: the good man is the dangerous man. He just has to have it under control, right?
And I would say that most of the tier 1 guys that I've met, and I've been very fortunate, whether they're professional athletes or military or law enforcement or whatever, just tier 1 general population, they were always the kind of guy that stepped in on bullying and said, hey, that's enough of that.
Right. Hey, hold on here. I saw this Danny Erickson's a really smart guy here. I associate a good shot with players like Burt Marshall and Tom Laidlaw. So, okay, we should be careful here. Susan brings up a good point. Susan seems to be confused. Gordon Miller tweeted, don't report a person's death until their family, doctor, or employer says they passed away. Well, okay.
Oh, is that in reference to Bobby?
Yes, I'm assuming. Yes. Good point. Thank you, Susan.
Yeah. Okay. I did see it on, okay.
Where did you see it?
I saw it, like I just I Googled his name and came up in multiple news reports, but to her point, she's right.
Yeah.
But
I saw it on Facebook.
As Mark Twain said, what did he say?
The stories of my death are greatly
over exaggerated.
Exaggerated, yeah.
I had that happen to me one time.
Right. See, so the Alumni Association is saying that he's passed away too. But okay, we'll get.
No, I was on a Monday morning years ago getting coffee, going to do some construction or something, and my friend Kevin Roberts walked in. He's like in shock.
Oh,
because he had heard something horrible happen to me over the weekend.
Oh, really?
And it wasn't me, obviously. So he was he didn't, at first, he was like,
Wow.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll tell the story. It's a public story. So I had a client of mine that had committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And guys around the league were starting to get phone calls about it. And I guess there's no way to determine whoever is going to commit suicide, but he was the kind of guy that seemed like he had everything going on, beautiful family, successful and everything. So it was a client of mine called and that we're all friends with together. And we're both like, no way, it's not, so I made the phone call and found out it was true. So
yeah, I think in those, even when you suspect it or you don't suspect it, it's a horrible, horrible.
Yeah.
Permanent solution to a temporary problem.
I know. I was seeing some statistics online, and they were saying like there's one suicide every minute in the United States. Is that accurate? Is it that high a number?
Well, it could be. I don't know. I do know for a fact that if you look at deaths by handgun and rifle, 50% are suicide.
Right. Wow.
When you look at the national statistics. So, yeah, it's pretty tough. I mean, and it's, what, if you look at the professions, it's usually military, law enforcement, and then, believe it or not, doctors.
Yeah, I heard that psychiatrists and everything too, because they're constantly getting bombarded with it. Wow.
Right. Yeah.
And I guess it's getting worse and worse too. The numbers are.
Yeah. No, I spoke to a friend of mine who's into mental health. He's a doctor. Well, I'll talk to you off air about it. But he said the past 2 years from COVID, he's put more people into treatment than he ever did before.
Is that right? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Not some more. What he said during your. Not some more, but what would he said during your eulogy, Tom? Nice hair, dude.
Yeah.
That's funny because
you got to really think of something good, though, right?
I know, man.
Yeah.
You know what though?
I gotta go out with a laugh, man.
I don't want anything said about me.
I already told Beth, this is like when I tap out. Nothing big. Just throw a party.
Right.
I mean, you could even stick me in a corner like they do in the old Irish. But
seriously. Yeah, I don't. Fun with it's how people treat each other when you're alive. Like, why do you want to treat somebody shitty not good when they're alive? And then, all of a sudden, if you, to me, it's morbid to go stand over someone who's gone and just go, yeah. And you always hear this one person goes, "Hey, looks good."
the dude is dead. It doesn't get any worse.
I know the open casket things. Like, why do I want to look at? And why do I want somebody looking at me when I'm dead? For God's sake.
Exactly. Yeah.
And somebody said to me, I can't remember who it was, that the funeral isn't necessarily for the person that's dead; it's more for the person that's alive.
It is, but you could still do that with a celebration, I think, without having to have.
But treat somebody that way when they're alive, like when they're
right.
dead.
True.
Yeah.
No, but what, if the only good thing about open casket, if the dude owed you some money, maybe you could grab something like a watch off him or something.
Did you ever see the final like 2.5 Men when Charlie had died and all these girlfriends came? It was funny. All the girlfriends were there.
I can only imagine.
Oh, it was pretty good. Yeah, it was good stuff. Okay, little medical opinion I need from you. So I've been playing a lot of hockey lately. Been on the ice a lot, and the left knee. I know it's been used quite a bit. Is acting up.
So arthritis. I have the same thing.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Really?
That's what it is. Yeah.
What do we do about that?
Well,
I'm not going to a doctor. It's not happening.
No, you could take you don't want to go down a route of energy flares. I mean, basically, just suck up and get out there and go, because it's not like you're.
You tell. What's your opinion on this? I was told by a trainer that as you use your joints over and over, they loosen up a little bit. So sometimes the knee joint isn't sitting in there properly. So he had me wrap it really tight as possible to wrap, and then keep it on for about 10 minutes and just walk around. And it kind of settles back into place. And it seems like that works for me pretty good.
Did you have any surgery on that knee? Or?
No, I never. My knees were fine. Yeah. But it is. Yeah. It's just I take some Advil and it's
because I had total reconstruction on my left ACL. Oh. Yeah. I went to touch up on an icing, and a guy your size popped off, and he was between me and the wall, and my skate got stuck, and the top half of my leg shifted over while the bottom.
It's all right.
It was pretty. But anyhow, that doesn't bother me. Probably because whatever. My right one, and maybe because I favored it for all these years.
Could be.
Yeah. But and I do notice that, like you, I haven't been on the ice, and then just for various reasons, recently I've been on the ice more than I've been in the brief period here, and it would bother me, and then after a bit it goes away.
Yeah, I know it comes.
But unfortunately, then I feel something else somewhere.
I know, yeah. And part of the problem is like you're riding in the car like an hour drive after, and then it gets sore too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, is Danny's on fire today. Like some days Danny's good. Tom Latham was a great human being. We watched his main fade away and the shot gets slower. Unfortunately, the heat overcame him. Nice, Danny. Good job. Give him credit on that one. See, again, some days, Danny, you're on fire. When are we getting together with your wife too? Or she now turned the corner on me? Like Danny's wife, I thought I was a very arrogant person. Very full of myself.
Really?
Now, it seems like the latest we heard was, and this could change, that she now turned the corner and realized that maybe I was a good person. But I think his son now had a problem with me. So,
So yesterday, Bill Brown sparred up in Whippany.
Oh, okay.
I was going to go. I couldn't make it up there. I had some stuff going on. But someone posted on social media today that I guess it was a guy up there. And it was he goes, I just started boxing, but I asked a Navy SEAL to spar me. He said, yeah.
Oh.
So can you imagine what a thrill for this guy it was?
Right.
To get in there and mix up with Bill,
Oh, it was Bill. I'm sorry. Oh, it was Bill.
Yeah. So
that wouldn't be a thrill for me. I've been running into
it's not quite such a thrill when you walk away and you're missing teeth and you're bleeding everywhere. But it was pretty cool that the guy really, and like, I think it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Go back to the knee really quick. Somebody had given me some CBD cream that I put on last night. That was pretty good after. Yeah, it worked pretty good.
It's supposed to. Yeah. I mean,
but I guess there's some stuff they have to have a special ingredient there to get through to your skin, right? Some of it just sits on top of your skin and doesn't really do anything.
Well, it's really transdermal. I don't know how deep it gets, and if it's not obviously going to get into the ligaments and that deep.
Hold on. Transdermal?
Yeah,
Oh,
so in other words, like
that really got me going there. I'll tell you. Like you said, just say it one more time. Just say transdermal one more time.
I'll say it slowly too.
Yeah,
transdermal.
Oh God, I gotta go.
Yeah, it just means through the skin.
And
so it doesn't.
You're good. You're good. I tell you, you come up with these words. Very good. I like that.
Yeah. You know what? Rammer. Yeah, Rammer.
Yeah.
Because we all sat together on a plane. So Rammer, Kaz, and this guy Beats.
So Rammer's the medical trainer with the New York Rangers for people.
Yeah, and he said I was like Cliff, full of useless information. I said, yeah, pretty much.
Fountain of useful information.
I found it useful. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Good kids last night too at this place. Yes, somebody asked me if it was at Old Bridge Ice Rink. Yes.
Oh, I got to tell you, we had a little bit of a faux pas Saturday.
Why?
Well, because it's the Devils learn to play, right? Just like we're doing Rangers to turn to play.
Right.
So all the kids are wearing Devils jerseys and whatnot. And there's that one kid.
Oh yeah.
The parents didn't know. Head to toe Ranger stuff.
Oh yeah. That happens, especially when we do events in New Jersey. That happens a lot.
Mhm.
Sometimes in Long Island, but more in New Jersey. So that happened. I was on Friday. I was in Fairfield at Pure Hockey. Same thing. They're showing up with the devil stuff, and it was fun though. Actually, too, it was pretty good. Some older gentleman last night had a devil's hat on, so we were getting a picture taken. He put it on my head, so I pretended I was punching.
You know what's amazing too, and this is a while back, but still recent enough. I was in New Jersey. I think New York was Rangers. They're playing Rangers, and the pop fan sucks still to this day. Like, how many years has it been?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, a guy last night had a sweatshirt with that on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop fan sucks. Yeah. Oh, they were good. Hold on here. So we go to the continuing saga of Danny and his lovely wife Tina. I told my wife at a possible meeting. She says, "What am I going to say to this guy after I criticize?" That's lots of people. I'm very used to getting criticized.
Yeah.
That is no problem whatsoever, Tina. Yeah. I you know what? I think it's actually a compliment that she thinks I'm arrogant. It's almost like you're so confident that you've gone right to that line. Sometimes.
Well, what's the difference between arrogance and confidence?
It's what somebody else thinks, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like preparation paranoia.
Right. Oh, nice. I like that one.
Yeah.
I heard I don't know if I said this to you the other day. The pot of water that makes an egg hard also makes a potato soft.
Now you're talking transdermal to me.
Right. The pot of boiling water that makes an egg hard also makes potato soft. So the moral of the story there is, don't let the environment dictate you. You dictate the environment. It's a pretty good saying. I think that.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Not very often you hear a new one, right? Like you think you've heard them all. So.
Well, it's like everything else. I mean, if you got a tee time to go play golf with Tiger Woods and it's raining out, you're pissed off. But if you're living in the desert and you're about to die and it starts raining, you're pretty happy. Right? So.
Yeah, I like that too. My son, update on the Erickson family. My son never had a beef with you. He admires that you even talked to me. It's funny. Danny's good out there. Some days where he's kind of bland. Other days he's fired up. Yeah. Sounds like a Bruce Lee quote. I don't know where that quote was. It was just some random guy on online.
Yeah, it could be Anthony. Yeah, Bruce Lee. I dated his sister, I tell you, right? Years ago.
You did Bruce Lee's sister?
Yeah. What was her name?
Stop.
Yeah. Ugg. Her first name was Ugg. Yeah.
No, that was the other sister's Home.
Home. Yeah.
That's terrible.
I know. It's really bad.
Yeah, it is. Confidence, you carry yourself in silence. Arrogance, you tell people how great you are. Okay.
Yeah, that's true, Ron. Great point.
That's a good point.
That's what they call, apparently on the golf tour, Phil Mickelson's known as Fig Jam, FIGJAM.
Oh.
It's an acronym for I'm great, just ask me.
We were at the game last night at the rig. They were on the bench and the kids were like, "Are you Riz?" I'm like, Riz? What's Riz? Do you know what Riz is?
I have no idea, but I'm afraid to find out.
I know. Well, they were telling me that I think I'm the guy that can pick up all women, like, or that all women love me or something like that. Yeah. Are you Riz? And I go,
well, they're very observant. I mean,
well, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're the man." No, he is the man. He is the man. They can tell they've had this whole kind of skit going on.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can learn from kids.
Yeah.
Especially in a hockey locker room or on the bench.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Because some of the new stuff, right? Like we've got our old stuff. Like I tell some of my old jokes and
we have an event this upcoming Saturday. So there's a family in Mendham, New Jersey. Mark Eigner and his family, really very nice people. And he's got a rink in his backyard. He's got a Zamboni. He's got a chiller there.
Nice.
He's got twin boys. I think they're freshmen in high school. They play hockey. Really super nice guy. So he has this up every year for the Winter Classic, right? The Warriors. Right?
Oh, okay.
And he's got a huge screen with the scoreboard, and we do the national anthem and the whole bit. This is the 4th year. Yeah. And for whatever reason, every date that he picks, do you see what the weather's going to be Saturday?
No.
Now it's like 50 degrees outside now.
Right.
The high for the day is 17.
Oh.
And it just seems to be no matter what day we pick in February, it could be 80.
Right.
That particular day. It's
Yeah, nice and chilly. Ron Jameson is asking, Mark, are you ready for your Barry's event up in Cooperstown? When is that?
That's coming up February 17th. We head up. We'll be there Friday evening. We go to the VFW. We have a dinner. I think there's an auction. Everybody's bringing up some kind of swag. to sell at the
Oh,
auction.
cool.
Barry's been going around town raising money. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't even begin to describe the amount of time, work, and that
Yeah.
Barry's put into this.
Yeah.
And but yeah, we're ready. We're really looking forward to it. It's going to be.
I have learned with Barry. I have learned with Barry. Barry's going to do something. He puts his heart into it. There's no question about that.
No question. Yeah.
Dan, okay, Danny. Now, my son is observant. Leaned over to me at last year's alumni game and said, "Why is Leland skating so slow?" Because that's the way I skate. We're talking about. I got better than I used to be.
It's all about positioning.
Yeah, it is. Yes,
Keep them outside the dots. That's
Right.
all you got to worry about.
Right. They can't. If they score along the board from over along the boards, that's a goalie shot.
Goalie shot.
That. Yeah, totally. That is very true. Coming to understand that you don't have to go check
It's
everybody.
Yeah.
Come back to the house.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Strong side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. Last night so I think I've told this before, but they give out those little cards with my picture on it back when I played to the kids. So on the back of it, they've got a picture with the helmet off, and I've got the long hair and the mullet and the whole bit. And the kids are all looking at it. They were pretty funny last night. They're busting my balls pretty good.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, they don't miss anything.
Brian Duffy,
Mm.
what VFW are you going to eat at?
Brian, I'm not sure. I'm going to assume it's in Cooperstown
Yeah.
because that's where the event's happening. But I'll have to ask Barry, and I'll get back to you on that, Brian.
Right.
Do you live up, Brian? Do you live up that way, or
You must
just swing by, man? Swing by and
Is-
see us.
I wonder if
We'd love to see
Brian.
it.
See, my personal sleep expert is Brendan Duffy. I wonder if they're related.
I think Brian was a pilot, and I don't know if I think they might be brothers. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Cool.
he can clarify now.
My personal sleep expert.
Yeah, you don't listen to him though.
I know. You know what? And I think about that quite a bit because
Yep.
people spend
Me
a lot
too.
of time studying sleep and everything like that, and I totally respect their opinions. So let me answer to our question here from Brian. No, lots of VFW connections. Brothers, Yard Brothers.
Oh,
No.
okay. Oh,
Right,
yeah.
right.
And Brian, you were a pilot, correct? And you're a veteran as well, I believe, right?
We'll find out on that one. Yes, he must be. I know where all the Where is your invite to go to Barry's place, Ron? I have been invited. Barry's been very gracious and asked me several times to get up there. I hate to commit to something because right now during the hockey season, I'm that guy. I'm single. My kids have grown. I've got a flexible schedule. So the Rangers, when they need something done, I'm usually the guy.
You got to be there.
Yeah. So these events, the one on Friday, the one last night, and the one on Tuesday, were all ones that Brian Mullen was supposed to be doing. He got COVID for the third time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where are you going to be Tuesday?
Tuesday, Great Neck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not too far. Last night was at the hall. That was about an hour and a half. Not too bad. An hour and a half to get there. Hour and 15.
Yeah, Old Bridge is pretty far even for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've been getting spoiled too because my truck isn't fixed yet. So the Rangers
Oh,
have
that's
to
right.
the Rangers give me car service. So I sit in the back seat there.
Ah, cigar.
I know. I feel like some kind of a diva or something too because that's
Yeah.
not my style. I don't do that.
Roll up. Throw your hair
Hey,
back.
good. Yeah, I know.
Stick.
Let me throw my hair back.
Yeah.
Yes, former pilot. I was also the national VFW commander. Oh wow,
Oh, wow. Awesome.
very cool, Brian. That's
Yeah.
excellent. Good
Yeah,
job.
let me find out, Brian. I'll get back to you with exactly where we're going to be. But
National,
it's just
national VFW commander. Man, how many VFWs are there? That's a big
it's gotta
job.
be tons of them, I would think.
Yeah. Danny Erickson wants to know. So, Danny, so you're asking us obviously because you're near Great Neck, but after all, I mean, I'm afraid to tell you what time I'm there. After all that's gone on with you and your family, and but the abuse you give me.
For anybody going with Tom, don't stand close to him when he's there,
Yeah,
just in
right,
case
hold
they miss.
I'll get the schedule out here while we're talking. But
Hey, here's my question.
okay,
It's changing. It's how bad was that play last night? The out of bounds play.
what do you mean in terms of the player should not have done it or the call? Stupid in a game like
Lost
that.
the game.
Mahomes was at least 2 or 3 feet in.
I think it was deeper. I mean, I could see how it happens. You're all hyped up, and,
Right.
But
Yeah, but in that kind of game, that's the thing about sports is like it's part of that mental game, right? You got to be under control, right? That's,
I was just thinking about that the other night, and we always hear about attention to detail.
Yeah.
Right, and that there's a really good example of detail
yeah,
that he
totally.
didn't pay attention to.
Well, I mean, like San Francisco too. All the penalties they took on defense, and they were hanging in there with all the injuries they had, and they killed themselves with the bad penalties. Yeah.
I mean, the fourth string quarterback, and then it was talk they were going to put in McCaffrey.
Oh, McCaffrey! You can tell he just decided he was not going to let his team lose, right? I mean, he couldn't.
He's another guy. He's a ball player. You
Yeah.
know,
he's not that big either.
No.
I'm surprised. Yeah.
but he never really gets hit. He always
Yeah.
manages to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
avoid getting just slaughtered.
Yeah. I gotta find this date. I think it's like 5 o'clock or something like that. I'll find it. You know what, Danny? I will find out for sure, and I will post that because I know maybe like we could all maybe I come over for lunch before. Maybe your wife can make me some kind of lunch or whatever. Okay, I gotta find this stuff before we get done. Through the guy Ragdoll. What was that one? What do you guys say? Who do we want to win? So we got Philly and Kansas City, right?
Yeah,
I
kind of like Kansas City.
Yeah, I like Mahomes. I think he's a great player. Yeah,
he proved not proved, but he showed.
Yeah. Wasn't it a couple of years ago he dislocated his knee and came back and played too? Pretty quick. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because you and I were talking before the show about I don't want to be his body when he turns like 40. You know?
Well, that's the thing. I remember like 2 years ago, I think it was, where the game, I guess the championship game before they went to the Super Bowl, he got knocked out cold.
Yeah.
And, you know, yes, okay, he's better and he comes to plays, but nobody's thinking about him, what he's going to be like when he's 50 and 60 and 70 years old, right? The damage.
And you remember Earl Campbell, Houston Oilers?
Yeah.
He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah. He played hard, but yeah, it was great when he played. I love watching him play, but now he's paying for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So again, we're assuming these reports are true. Again, I don't think.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, we saw the alumni post that he had passed away. So yes, in case anybody missed it, I had 2 incidents with Bobby Hull that actually were huge in my life. When I was small, I was about 10 years old. My father somehow got us into the morning skate at Maple Leaf Gardens when Chicago was in town. And after the skate, he came out and talked to me for 10 minutes. I'll never forget the impact it had on me. And like, you know, here's an NHL player talking to me, and my dream was playing the NHL. And he was very encouraging. It was fantastic. And then my second year in the league, he because Ulf Nielsen and Anders Hedberg were on our team. He had played with them in Winnipeg. He was making an attempt at a comeback. We had skated over here in Rye, and then we were going to Finland for training camp. So one day after skate, we went to a local establishment, sat there for 3 hours with Bobby Hull telling stories, and it was just incredible. He was just that personality. You know, and the stories he's talking about himself and Gordie Howe and Phil Esposito and all these, like, we're all like, oh, these stories.
Think of all the great players he played with, right?
Yeah, totally.
Because he was an original 6 guy.
Yep. So the All-Star games, you know, they're all rubbed shoulders and all that kind of stuff. He was good.
It's confirmed. He's gone.
Yeah. That's sad. Let me see. Oh, okay, hold on. Lift your hat. I want to see you've got a mark with the skate you're sparing. I was actually pretty impressed. I'm watching it. I'm going, holy, I can't even walk by a thing with it. It's not even moving.
Truth be known, and again, I don't want people to think I'm out of my mind, but I probably am. From time to time, I've been known to do that with a live blade, so I can work on.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So when you're stabbing that, was it Bob or whatever?
Yeah, Bob. He better smarten up, that dude.
So is that a real knife? Or you're just using a dummy knife?
No, that was a real knife. But if you notice, I wasn't hitting him with it. Like, I just come to where I would go with it. Yeah. Right. But I do have training blades you can use on Bob and not.
Do you know what they call the guy in the pool with no arms, no legs?
Bob. What about on your front doorstep?
Matt.
Yeah. What about on the wall?
Art.
Yeah.
What about the woman at the beach?
Sandy.
Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. Grown men.
It's awful.
What's our combined ages? Like, I'm 64.
About 2000.
I know. Act like 2.
Not going to change either.
Yeah,
not going to change.
That's pretty cool. And I could see this, Rod, too. Hull bought me a beer. We won't give you a hard time about how you spelled that, but okay. But if I can
see that. That's right in German.
Oh, is that right? Is that what it is in German?
Yeah. Sure. Oh. Beer garden. Yeah.
Jim Otto played the. Yeah. That is the thing. And listen, you've got bumps and bruises, and I've got stuff, over. But wouldn't change the thing. I'd do it even harder, right?
I think the Mike Webster story was really tough. He was the center, like Otto, with Pittsburgh,
right?
Where they wore just a regular helmet, like just with the right. And he ended up homeless, and I think in his car he was living and stuff.
Right.
So those guys didn't make any. It's funny. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but Kenny Stabler. I always thought he was so cool. What?
Oh yeah.
And I was watching something where they were roasting him down in Alabama. So this had to be in the 70s, right?
Right.
And so the one guy says, "You would think a guy making $200,000 a year," and you go, $200,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Hey.
Well, my first year salary in the NHL was $60,000 in 1980. Yeah. $25,000 signing bonus. Bought my Camaro Z28. I was living high off the hog too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Danny. That was the. So that was not. That was the. We went over to Finland my second year for training camp. There's a place, a training facility called Viramäki. Very cool. Like all the cabins around the lake. You know, the saunas and the whole bit. We sit in the sauna and then go jump in the. Are you into like cold stuff? What's the?
Yeah. So if you notice, so that's why, seriously, all kidding aside, that's why a lot of times I'll go in the woods, I'll warm up, then I'll take my shirt off to bare skin and do like another 20, 30 minutes. Right. It's supposed to really help boost your immunity, keep your immune system up. And therapeutically, I think also just your joints get a little.
It gets you out of your comfort zone too, right? Apparently, it's very good for your skin and everything too. Yeah. It's all the.
So one of the guys on the Warriors, Keith Morano, he has the bucket. He said he spent $125 for like the bath.
Oh, right.
And he went in it. He said, anytime you want to just stop by. So I'm going to go over there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Who's there's a doctor that is famous for talking about all that stuff.
Wim Hof.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
good job.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wim Hof. WIMHOF. Dutch guy. And then do you remember the fighter, French kid, Georges St-Pierre?
I don't, but
yeah, there's him this morning up in Montreal shoveling snow with shorts and flip-flops on.
Right.
And then he opens up and he goes in. Yeah.
Okay, so you think it doesn't necessarily have to be like a cold, like an ice bath. You could be just outside.
You could do that, but he's shoveling the snow to get to the ice bath.
Okay. But in your opinion, no, but the same effect is if
we'll lay
it's cold
down
outside.
in the snow.
Right.
That's another way to do it. So the other day,
I love sitting outside my back deck. Now I do bundle up a little bit, but like the cold air, like even on your face, and then like my bald head.
The other day, when we had a little bit of snow. Was it Wednesday last week? I went out, warmed up, and in the snow, I took my stuff off, and I was just doing some martial arts stuff. But it felt great. It felt you feel invigorated for sure.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't audition for any porn at that point.
I told you my Goldie Hawn story, right? When she came in the locker room. So in LA, when Wayne Gretzky got there, then all the movie stars started coming in.
Right.
So Kurt Russell and her would come in the locker room. And we were used to having female reporters in the locker room. We wouldn't walk around naked, you'd cover up and everything after you're taking your clothes off. And she's just standing there. Now, I would love to tell you she was staring at me. She was not. She was just looking around the room. And just as she looked at me, I just dropped everything. And I'm standing there, I'm thinking, oh, God, I hope it's not cold in here.
Yeah.
She didn't spend a whole lot of time staring at me, so I don't think there's
I think, that was that movie Overboard. I think, yeah.
All right, brother. Good to see you again. And again, it does appear that the reports are accurate with Bobby Hull, and we'll assume that they are. Great man. And again, like you said before, we mourn his loss, but he's also had a fantastic life. So played a big role in my life. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, brother. Talk to you next week.
Yep.